We've been talking about politics and political issues in hip hop since the early 80s, but not anymore. Well, maybe we should go back to that again to help keep us informed as a people and encourage us to get involved in the political process and make power moves to put us in a better position and not just picking the lesser of two evils. Because at the time of this recording, it looks like we're going to have to choose between Biden and Trump. And to me, the choice is begrudgingly clear. So dig, I've been voting since I was 18. And you know who inspired me to vote outside of my parents? Chuck D from Public Enemy. I heard Chuck say something to the effect of, if you don't vote, then you can't complain about the system. So I started voting initially just so I could talk shit. So see, I was inspired to vote and get involved in the political process through hip hop. There's a place for hip hop in politics and vice versa. I always tried to stay informed as to what was going on in politics. I'll admit, I'm not Mr. Super Patriotic. A lot of times, I'm skeptical as to who's really running things in the government, and I question where true power lies. But I believe in the basic function of the voting process in America. I think it's fair, it ain't rigged. I mean, outside of that electoral college nonsense, which sounds like a scam to me anyway, I think our voting system, it can be trusted. Now, it's a little premature to think about it, but who we kidding? If the race for president started today, it will be between President Biden and Trump. That being said, in the past, yes, Biden has said some sideways stuff. He's committed some social faux pas. You might not agree with some of his policies, but in my opinion, Trump shouldn't even be allowed to run for office again. Any office. He's a danger to the democracy, he's a liar, and he's selfish. So point number one, he's a danger to the democracy. From the door, his attacks on our democracy and that riot that he organized on January 6th, that should ban him from office forever. I wouldn't even agree with putting him in jail for that, because his supporters, they'll just call him a political prisoner, and that'll make him more of a cult hero in their eyes. So I just think they should ban him from running for anything in the government again. Like, the bull telling you right to your face that he wants to be a dictator, that he's going to be a dictator, but only on day one. Yeah, right. See, if he gets in office again, I think he's going to take political revenge on everybody he felt that chumped him before, up to and including imprisonment and yes, executions. See, Trump already floating the idea around that a president should have total immunity. So see, he already setting it up so that he can get away with anything next time. The bull loves dictators. He actually looks up to him. He always talking about strength. And when he say stuff like, only I can fix it, that's classic dictator talk. Another thing, Trump let crazy conspiracy theorists into the White House like Sidney Powell and the Pillow Guy, and he straight up listened to him. That's dangerous. He stay hating on the press. Now, that's a classic trait of a dictator. He hates the press because they ask him questions and they hold him accountable to his lies and all his cons. I'm going to tell you why else I think he's a threat to our democracy. Russia got Trump in their back pocket. He's been compromised. They control him. For example, when the press asked Trump about Putin tampering with our elections, and they told him that our intelligence agencies have confirmed this, and they told him this right in front of Putin, you know what Trump said? He said, nah, he wouldn't do that. Right in front of him, like he was scared of him. Then, when he got back to America, and they asked him again when Putin wasn't around, he was like, nah, I meant to say, why wouldn't he do that? That's just another example of the insult to intelligence, and that's pun intended. I really do think there's a Russian Hooker P tape out there somewhere starring Trump, and as long as the Russians got their hands on it, they got him by the ass. Point number two, he's a liar. I believe most politicians lie, or at least they stretch the truth a little bit. But Trump has made it his national pastime. That's what he does. I think it's disrespectful and it's insulting to my intelligence. He lies about everything. He lies about his weight. He lies about how many floors are in Trump Tower. He lies about how much money he got. He lies about everything. From day one, he lied and had his people lying, talking about his inauguration crowd was the biggest crowd in history, when it clearly wasn't. He's still talking about the 2020 election was rigged, and he know damn well it wasn't. People have heard him admit that it wasn't. He's just mad he lost. The peaceful transfer of power, that's what makes democracy happen. And Trump is messing all that up. Going back to point one, he's a threat to democracy. He's been lying about elections being rigged for a while now too, so he ain't just start with that in 2020. He said the Iowa primary was rigged when he lost to Ted Cruz in 2016. He even said the Emmys was rigged when his TV show The Apprentice didn't win. So don't believe him when he says it's rigged. He's just a sore loser. Every time he tells that lie that the election was stolen, it kills our democracy a little bit more every day. He got a whole lot of people believing him, and a whole lot of them might not ever vote again. So another byproduct of Trump and his lies is that he's created a base of supporters, of people that other people are actually scared of. See, Trump supporters, they're like in a trance, and it's like they're in a cult. So they won't listen to anyone, and they don't want to hear anything about truth or facts, even if it comes from Trump. They'll do anything for their leader, including threats and actual acts of violence. They got the whole world scared of them. They got the whole Republican Party scared of them. The whole Republican Party is held hostage because they're scared that Trump will turn his crowd against them. Point number 3, Trump is selfish. In my eyes, he only wants to be president again just so he can stay out of jail and avoid prosecution for all the charges against him. He don't care about the average American citizen. If they happen to benefit from anything he does, it's just a coincidence. At the time of this recording, it's reported that Trump is encouraging Republicans not to make a deal to end the immigration crisis because it'll make Biden look good, and he don't want that. So see, it's all about him. On top of all that, I can't see myself voting for a man that's comfortable reaching out to white supremacists for support. And I don't care how many black people he pay to be at his little campaign rallies. I'm gonna stop short of calling the man an outright racist, but he's shown me enough in that area to where I couldn't see myself voting for him, and I look at anybody black that vote for him sideways. Look, I understand people's frustration with the Democratic Party. I truly do. You probably feel like they take us for granted. They like, where else you gonna go? They take our votes, and then we don't see them again till next election. Ain't nothing wrong with the Democrats. We just gotta learn how to work them. Like, I saw this video by Dr. Claude Anderson before, and he talked about buying lobbyists to go to Washington for our interest, putting politicians in our pocket and make them work for us. If they're not doing the job, then we vote them out and get another one. We gotta move as one and use that voting block like power to get what we want and need as a community. He talked about working local politicians because that's where you're gonna see the most immediate difference. Bottom line, on top of everything I just said about Trump, in my opinion, he's also petty and he's juvenile. He's unfit to be president, and he shouldn't have been there in the first place.